I hope you enjoyed episode 1 of the weight loss vlog series. Now you're obviously starting weight loss vlog 2. So as I'm going on this dog walk, I wanted to use that as an opportunity to obviously walk the dog, but get my step count in a comfortable position for the day. I'm not going to be going out today, so kind of just want to hit the majority of my steps for now. I'll just probably hit the rest of them later just from walking around the house, etc. And I know you've seen me take steps many times before and go on walks, etc. and just eat meals. But you know what? That's what a fat loss journey, or a weight loss journey I could say, or a fat loss journey, whatever you want to call it, is about. Repeating things week in, week out, the same things. It might come across as a little bit boring, but a lot of people struggle because they are switching things up all the time. And if you're switching things up all the time, you're not going to know what works, you're not going to know what doesn't work. So pick something you can be consistent with and then rinse and repeat it over the course of weeks and months, and I guarantee you will get results. So it's about 5:30 p.m. right now and I've had no fruit today. I've still got a bunch of protein to catch up on. And what I'm going to do right now is what I like to call a super smoothie. I make basically this big smoothie, put loads of frozen berries in, a bunch of protein powder in, and then you're going to also notice that I specifically use low-fat milk. The reason why I use low-fat milk is just because it helps me with being in a calorie deficit. And you're going to notice that throughout these vlog series, I make a lot of these dietary swaps. So as you would have seen in the last video, I use fry light oil instead of regular oil. I drink diet soda instead of regular soda. And in this particular case, I'm about to use low-fat milk instead of semi-skim milk or full-fat milk. And these might sound small when you look at them in isolation, but over the long term, they add up a ton, especially when done consistently. I feel like that smoothie is the easiest hack to just get your protein and fruit intake skyrocketed for the day. Hey Anna. So I just got back from the supermarket where I bought some chia seeds, and the reason why I brought the chia seeds because yesterday you saw me making the smoothie. I'm going to start adding the chia seeds to the smoothie, and the reason why I'm adding the chia seeds to the smoothie is because I don't want you to think the only thing that matters is calories. Yes, I'm in a calorie deficit. Yes, I'm trying to save calories where I can, but it doesn't mean that calories are the only thing that matters, because even though they are very calorie dense, I think it's worth the calorie density when you take into account the fact that it's high in fiber, high in omega-3 fatty acids, has loads of vitamins and minerals. So is it worth the calories in this particular scenario? Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to start adding them into my smoothies now. I am going to be careful of how much I add. I'm not going to go overboard with it because again, they are calorie dense, and ultimately I do need to be in a calorie deficit if I want to hit my goal, but the other stuff is still important too. So I will be adding some. Obviously I'll be measuring it out to make sure I'm not going too overboard with it. I'm currently walking my dog, which is obviously a sentence you are going to hear a lot throughout this vlog series, just because I feel like the dog walks are a great time to update you about how everything is going or go over any questions you may have. Anyway, considering today is Sunday, I thought I'd do my end of week review with you, and overall it's okay. It was mostly about just getting back in routine after being in Lisbon. Just slipped straight back into routine, which further shows that it is one I can be consistent with. I had an inconsistent day on the 1st of September. It happened like quite last minute. It's not how I would have liked to start the month. Sometimes these curveballs happen. Turns out I had guests staying the night and they were coming over, they were going to eat dinner with us, and obviously I don't want to be that weird person who just eats his own thing in the corner. I want to enjoy the food with everyone else. So I don't know how many calories I ate that day. I don't know if I was in a calorie deficit either. I probably wasn't in a surplus. I would say I was in around maintenance for that day, and even though that's the case, I'm still going to call that an inconsistent day, which brings me on to another point actually. Just because I have an inconsistent day, it doesn't mean I go overboard like crazy. Absolutely not. If I feel like I can still be in a calorie deficit or even around maintenance or maybe in a slight surplus, I don't want to take the piss. I don't want to go way overboard, because if I have 7 inconsistent days where maybe I go slightly over my calorie goal or around maintenance compared to 7 inconsistent days where I go way beyond my calorie goal, obviously I'm going to have a much harder time hitting my goal with the later. So even though you're having an inconsistent day and maybe you didn't hit your calorie goal or maybe you couldn't hit one of your goals as you would have liked, still try and be consistent with everything else. Still try and hit your step goal. Still maybe try and hit your protein goal if you can, etc. I don't want to say damage limitation, but do the best you can for that day. Just because it's inconsistent, it doesn't mean you should scrap the whole thing off. And on a final note, I only like to call it an inconsistent day for the purpose of the consistency calendar. Does that mean it was like a bad day? No, I wouldn't say it was a bad day. It's just that, you know, it's a part of life, which is why I never aim for 100% consistency. I just need to know where to draw the line when it comes to the consistency calendar. And I don't have a negative connotation with the word inconsistent day. It doesn't make me feel any sort of way. And I always, as I said, aim to have an inconsistent day every once in a while, because at the end of the day, life goes beyond just weight loss and being in a calorie deficit, and I want to enjoy it too. So today is Monday, and not only is it check-ins for my online coaching members, it's also my day to check in with you. 3 weeks worth of pretty consistent data underneath our belt. I wasn't consistent maybe for 2 days since starting, so that's a good amount of consistency overall. These first 3 weeks was just seeing where my body stands again. Obviously I had a rough idea because I've been doing things like this for many years, but it was just to have that certainty again, because I hadn't been tracking my calories for a long time, and it was just basically about getting back into a routine with that, seeing how my body reacts, guessing where my calorie deficit was. And to be fair, I put myself in a little bit more of what I thought would be an aggressive calorie deficit. Is some hunger on a calorie deficit normal? Yes, some hunger here and there on a calorie deficit is going to happen. If you're never hungry, then you're likely never in a calorie deficit. Otherwise, yeah, I can confirm whether or not I need to change stuff, because again, I've got a good amount of consistency. I can see how my body's been reacting. And what I can confirm with you now is that I don't need to change anything. Things are happening. It's like I said, I'm getting stronger in the gym. I'm losing weight. I've been losing about half a kg a week, which is quite fast. But like I said, I'm in quite an aggressive calorie deficit. For me personally, 2,200 calories. Like, that's a big deficit. I wouldn't go any lower than that. If anything, I was thinking of potentially increasing it. Basically, if this rate of weight loss increases, if it goes beyond half a kg a week, I might increase my calories, because I don't want it to be any faster than that. I do believe it can happen too quickly. Measurements wise, I'll probably get some updated measurements sometime over the next 7 days. Consistency calendar is shaping up well as well. If everything goes to plan, I have a friend visiting me on the 24th, and he will be here with me for about a week. And then obviously I am going to be more likely to go off track with him here, which is okay. But with the fact that I know that's going to come up on the last week of the month, I want to be as consistent as I can be from today until the 23rd. And then when he's here, I'll see how it goes. Obviously, I'll still do my best, but I will be a little bit more lenient on myself, because I don't want to make his time suck as well. You know, I want him to have fun while he's in Portugal. It's his first time visiting. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I think I would be silly to change anything now. Why would I change things if it's clearly not broken? Good morning, Anna. Oh, hello there. I thought on today's dog walk I'd touch upon a topic that needed speaking about, because I hadn't touched upon it yet in any of the vlogs so far, and I don't know what's going through your mind as you see me doing this journey. I don't know if you're feeling like, oh, his weight's going too slow, his weight's going too fast, how does he always have his training together, or like, oh, he cooks this meal and that meal, like that's awesome, and meanwhile I'm struggling to even get into the gym just even once a week. I don't want you to beat yourself up about any of that, okay? You shouldn't be comparing yourself to me. I'm a personal trainer for a living. I do online coaching. To put it bluntly, other people pay me to help them with their fitness, to guide them down the right path, because I've been doing this for such a long time. I've educated myself. I've dedicated many years of my life to learning and doing this. And not only that, I've taken many years of my life to also establish the habits that you see me doing nowadays that might look easy to you on this vlog series, but they weren't easy for me at first. I took out the time to get a lot of them to the point where it now feels like second nature. Use this more as, if you want to use it as inspiration, then fine. I think the best way you could potentially use it is more as an educational thing, where you can see what can be done, what can't be done, maybe what you do need to do more of, what you don't have to do, like avoid white bread. And do not compare yourself to me, because we are on two different journeys. Good morning. So I'm about to go to the gym right now. I'm literally right outside of it, and I'm going to do a legs and arm session, which I'm very much looking forward to. I just thought I'd come on here quickly to tell you that I am not motivated to go on today's walk. I cannot be bothered. I was very comfortable at home. But you know what? There was a lot of reasons to go on this walk. And number one, obviously I have to walk the dog. It's good for him and it needs to be done. Number two, if I don't go on this walk now, I know I'm not going to really leave the house today because right now it's about 21 degrees. Later on, it's going to reach 36 degrees Celsius. So I have to do it now. I'm not going to do it at all. And if I don't do it at all, I am going to have a really hard time hitting my step goal today. And this can easily become an inconsistent day. So I was just like, you know what? Just get it done, Leo. Just go now. Don't think about it. And here I am. And now it's actually not too bad. Just think of this as me giving you a heads up that I'm not always motivated myself, even though it might look like this from the video. Trust me, I'm not. Later. So today is Sunday, which means I'm going to do my end of week review with you. I had a consistent day every single day. Very happy with that. I've been seeing good strength increases within the gym. I've done an updated set of measurements today as well. And I had a 1.5 centimeter drop, but it is worth mentioning I felt quite bloated when I woke up this morning. And I think it's obviously because I had a smoothie last night and I probably had it a bit too close to bedtime. So do I felt like that impacted maybe the measurement reading? Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I don't care about like one-off measurements or one-off weigh-ins, as I always tell you. This is why I try and get as many consistent data points as possible. Otherwise, there's not too much to say this week. Nothing new, just within this consistent routine. We've got about 1 month's worth of data here now, which is a solid amount of data to get underneath our belt, especially consistent data. And we've seen a scale weight drop 0.3 kg. I feel like a lot of people would look at that and think it's not much. Trust me, that's a solid drop. You see why I weigh myself every day. This is a good thing to speak about. Let's say my average last week was 86.4 and I only weighed myself once this week. Can you imagine I only weighed myself on Tuesday? I would think things weren't going very well. Or imagine I had only weighed myself on Thursday. Like, I would think I'm way ahead. And this is why I like to weigh myself more than once, so that I can have an average by the end of the week, which is a lot more accurate. And I had a drop with my measurements as well, as you already know. And my consistency calendar, I am seeing a lot of greens so far, which is obviously what I want to see. My birthday's on the 19th. That's likely going to be an inconsistent day because I want to go out for a meal, enjoy something I want. And then a friend of mine is coming on the 24th for a week. So going to get as many greens around that period as I can. I'm in a very good spot with everything, making good progress, and I'm happy with the way everything is going. I'm about to have sweet potatoes, green beans, and fish. And the thing about the sweet potatoes and the green beans is that they were grown at home. That's always an awesome thing, and I just thought I'd show you quickly because why not? One question that I thought would be really worth answering, because I don't feel like I've spoken much about this before, is I've had people, and I don't know if it's really a question, but it's a statement. I hear this a lot, and it's mostly from other personal trainers, other coaches, other nutritionists, and I feel like this causes a lot of confusion towards people who are just starting out on their fitness journey and they're potentially thinking of counting calories. This could be you included as well. And the statement is, there is no point counting calories because they're never 100% accurate. And although that person is right about saying that it's never 100% accurate, it doesn't mean it's not worth ever counting your calories at all. That statement actually blows my mind because it's almost like the perfectionist talk I sometimes give, where people say, oh, just because I'm a perfectionist, I'm not going to do it at all. That's just silly. That's just you giving yourself an easy way out for when the going gets tough. But when it comes to tracking calories, just because you're not 100% accurate, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't track it at all. Let's say your finances aren't healthy and you want to improve your finances. Just because you can't track all of your finances to the penny, it doesn't mean it's not worth tracking any of your finances. So just because it's not tracking every single calorie to the T, it doesn't mean it's not worth tracking it at all. Yes, you should try and maximize the accuracy. Maybe there is going to be the odd occasion where you might have to estimate, which, by the way, just on the side note, I would discourage you making any sort of estimations if you're in your first 30 days of tracking calories or you're struggling to make progress from calorie tracking. Because just from the first 30 days, you shouldn't estimate just to gain that knowledge. And if you're struggling to track calories, then chances are you're guessing too much. But back on what I was saying, just because you might have to guess once in a while, it doesn't mean you shouldn't do that at all. It's absolutely worth it. This is what I'm doing right now. I would say I guess some things here and there. I guess how much fish I'm having, for example. In the meal that you would have seen today, I guessed how much green beans I'm having. I don't track my vegetables. I just don't think it's worth tracking vegetables for how long I've been tracking my food for. No one struggles with their weight because they eat too many vegetables. You also have to decide which foods might not be worth tracking to the T. But otherwise, that's pretty much it. Just because you can't track every single penny you have, it doesn't mean it's not worth tracking your finances at all. So anyone who makes that statement, they're just being very extreme. On a final note, and just about estimations, this is kind of a different topic to what I was just saying. If you are going to estimate your food, if you're trying to lose weight, always overestimate how much you weigh. If you're trying to gain weight, always underestimate. And that weather means I can't end this video in the usual way I would like to do it, by going on a walk. So I'm gonna end it right here. And I hope you enjoyed seeing me navigate my weight loss goal within these first 2 weeks of September. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, maybe even share it. Please subscribe to the channel because that would help a ton. Take care, and I'll see you in the next vlog.